The one with Monica and Chandler's wedding part 2 is the 24th and final episode of the 7th season of Friends. This is directed by Kevin Bright, and this has 9.1 out of 10 on IMDb. I almost never read the ratings for Friends episodes on IMDb, but I wanted to point that out because that is absolutely fantastic. It might be the 10th top-rated episode of all time. I say might be because on the advanced search on IMDb, it's the 10th rated episode, but on the regular, when you order them by episode list, by top rated, it's not the 10th. So either way, very, very highly rated, and it doesn't surprise me. That being said, I don't have a lot to say. I don't have too many thoughts on this. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. It's just, there's not a lot of variety in what's happening. We're basically trying to find Chandler, finding Chandler, and then having the wedding. And then ending with, well, honestly, the last 2 episodes, this one and that one, the previous one, have been an absolute roller coaster because we had 2 shocking moments in the previous one. Chandler's missing, Monica's pregnant. And then things just get even more dramatic. It actually picks up where the previous episode left off, where Rachel and Phoebe find the pregnancy test in the trash. Phoebe and Ross then find Chandler, and they take him to the wedding, and it seems like he's going to go through with it. And then he overhears Phoebe and Rachel talking about Monica's pregnancy. And needless to say, that terrified him, but it didn't go the way anybody, well, I say anybody, I can't talk for everybody else, but I think it went a way that people weren't expecting because Chandler seems to panic and he's gone again. But actually, he went down to the gift shop, he went to buy cigarettes, and when he was there, he found a teeny tiny baby outfit that said, "I Heart New York." And he then realised that something that tiny can't be scary, which I completely disagree with because babies are very scary. But it was such a lovely moment. And as I said, I can't speak for anybody else, but I think it was kind of meant to be implied that Chandler heard this news and he ran again. Because let's face it, piling that on top of his current anxieties, that's going to be quite a lot. And then also the fact that other people knew before he did about Monica being pregnant. In theory. And it was just a really sweet moment for Chandler. I rather liked it. And it's time for the wedding. And Joey is not there to officiate the wedding. He's running late because obviously he was meant to be on set. And the person who is officiating it, it's meant to be an Orthodox wedding. They had to kind of lie to get this to work. But the person officiating it says to Chandler, "Are you Chandler?" To which Chandler replies, "Are you Joey?" Which it's so simple, but it's probably one of my favourite funny moments in the whole episode. And he starts off with, "Dearly beloved," and without missing a beat, Joey walks in and says, "That's my line," which I absolutely loved. And Joey takes over, and we have the wedding between Monica and Chandler. Monica does kind of accidentally find out Chandler might have done a runner, but thankfully they didn't make a big deal out of it and they get married, and it's beautiful. It's chaotic and it's absolutely beautiful. And Chandler and Monica are talking quite quietly together, and Chandler says, "I know about the baby," which confused Monica, of course. And Monica asks about this, and he mentioned the pregnancy test, and Monica says, "I didn't take a pregnancy test." And then Chandler replies, "Then who did?" And the camera focuses on Rachel. And I'm in 2 minds about this. On the one hand, that's a fantastic cliffhanger, brilliant way to end the season, just such a roller coaster of emotions from the last 2 episodes. But at the same time, part of me wonders if maybe they should have left it without hinting that it was Rachel. At the same time, though, who else could it have been? Because Phoebe did genuinely seem surprised to find it in the trash. Would she have pulled it out if she'd known it was there? But at the same time, Rachel gave a convincing performance as well. There was nothing in her expression that faltered. I was watching closely as I was rewatching these episodes to see if, with the benefit of hindsight, is there anything? Does she give the game away? And she doesn't. I didn't notice anything that made it seem like she knew that it wasn't Monica's. Maybe she wasn't as shocked as she could have been to find out that her best friend's pregnant, but we could put that down to just the stress of the situation, the wedding, and Chandler being missing and everything. But I feel like Yeah, I don't know. Part of me thinks they should have not made it clear that it was Rachel's, but at the same time, who else could it have been? Because I don't really think it would have been Phoebe. So I don't know. I'm happy enough with where it went, though, and it's definitely a very strong way to end the episode. What's interesting is that we don't get a lot of screen time between Monica and Chandler, even though it's their wedding. So I would have liked a little bit more of that. But also the narrative just wouldn't have worked if that was the case. So that's not a criticism. That's just me wishing I could have the best of both worlds. But either way, I really do understand why the one with Monica and Chandler's Wedding Part 2 is so highly rated. It's beautifully executed. This, coupled with the previous episode, just makes for a tremendous roller coaster of an experience. I wish I could remember how I felt the first time I watched this episode. To be honest, though, I might not have even watched them in order, because I used to watch them on... Initially, I watched them on TV in the morning before school, and then I bought the VHSs. I spent many an hour looking at charity shops and car boot sales trying to find the VHSs, and then I got the DVDs eventually. But chances are I might have known that Rachel had the baby before it was even revealed that she was pregnant, because I don't know what order they showed them in. Either way, it's irrelevant to my enjoyment, but I do wish I remembered how I felt about this the first time. But nevertheless, I still enjoy it now. The one with Monica and Chandler's Wedding Part 2 is a brilliant episode of Friends, and a really great way to end the 7th season.